Hey, welcome back to Brad Tragick. Uh, reason why I take off my glasses, the glare, I just think people will get annoyed by that. I'm not completely blind. I just have a little blur, so I don't need glasses. Um, alright, so today there's going to be a lot of bands, actually, about 11 that came from a certain magazine, and I didn't even think about it. Um, how can I find bands I've never heard of? Well, here we go. There's this thing I get in the mail. I signed up for it. If anybody knows any other catalogs that gives you like unknown bands, stuff like that. Basically a free catalog. Let me know. Here we go. This one is Discmaker's catalog. You sign up for this. It sends you one like basically once a month. I've gotten flooded with them. I've kept some of them. Never really thought about using them for the 14 bands. The other day I just kind of looked through and I was like, well, I've never heard of this band. Never heard of this band. And I was like, wow, I could use this on my list. Um, but I will say this, I will not mention every single band because, first of all, I looked up a band called, what, a North Way, and they're like a Russian pop band. I'm not going to submit you guys to the torture. I posted on my Twitter some of the bands that were shitty, but I did post them, so people will hear from Brad Tragic, about some of those bands. So if you want to sign up, uh, search for Brad Tragic on Twitter, um, things like that. I also have a website if anyone wants to check that out. It's bradtragic.weebly.com. Working on another website, so it'd be easier to remember. Um, that right there is the main site that I'm working on. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. Just trying to find the right website, and they don't really give you too much options on customizing your website. And I don't really have a lot of time to sit there and write all the HTML and crap. Um, so after I get out of the way, let's get to the list. Um, the first band is called The Distribution. The Distribution. Um, it's actually a soul band, kind of R&B more. I say soul more because it's hard to explain. Like it sounds something like Aretha Franklin would do. Those kind of songs. So check them out. Like I said, the link's always down below, or the list is always down below. Um, the second band is called Leftover Cuties. Um, I'm gonna call them indie, and when I say indie, it means they're not exactly rock and roll. Um, I don't want to call them rock because they're not really like because they might use keyboards and their voice is kind of like odd sounding. When I hear that, I think indie or I think it's not rock. So what do you call it? So I call it indie. So somebody else's opinion of indie music might be different, but that's what my opinion of indie music is. That's what I'll call it. So if anybody else has anything to know what to call that, let me know. Check out Let There Be Cuties and tell me what kind of music that is. It's basically like Snow Patrol, that kind of music, or Death Cab for Cutie. I mean, I guess they're rock and roll, but I have a hard time calling those kind of bands rock. Anyway, um, next guy is Brian J. Cline. This guy's basically like the singer-songwriter type, where I'll call it rock and roll, but it's basically like this guy could probably make an acoustic record and it'd be pretty good. This is actually a professional song that I listened to. It's okay. A song called Recession, pretty good. Um, Next person is Heidi Cooper. I'm gonna call her pop, but I don't know how the rest of her music is. The song I heard was her doing stuff with like violins, stuff like that. So I guess I'll call it like kind of pop classical. So check out Heidi Cooper. Really good. Like I said, these are all bands coming from the Discmaker catalog, so there's some good artists in there. Um, the next girl is a really young girl, and um, her name is Shay. I'm gonna mispronounce the last name. Shay Gerson or Gerson. Um, she really sounds like when I first heard Avril Lavigne. Um, I really was I really liked her at first, like the music she was producing. She's a girl, and but she kind of took the mainstream rock kind of style kind of make it pop as well. That's basically what Shay sounds like. So make sure you check out Shay Gerson. Yeah, guaranteed, just check her out. She's a young girl, young woman, whatever you want to call her. Um, Sounds great, looks great. She's got that sex appeal that people probably gonna take. So she could be big. She makes it someday. Um, the next band is a band called Crooks. Another good band on the list, I will say. Leftover Cuties is good as well. Um, Crooks is kind of I want to call them like country, but they're not country. I want to call them southern rock, but they're not southern rock. Um, so I guess I'll call them kind of like a pop southern music band. I guess I can call it. Kind of hard to put them in a genre because they kind of sound southern, but they're rock and roll too. But they're kind of poppy. They kind of sound kind of like an indie southern rock band. So check them out. Next band is Raining Jane. Um, I look them up and they might be Christian. I'm not sure, but I know they are pop music. I seen they were on tour with somebody, and I'm blanking on the name they're on tour with. But check them out. They're kind of poppy. I almost want to say they're Christian. Um, Check them out. They're really good. The next guy is a straight up teen pop music kind of guy. If you like, Jonas Brothers or something like that, definitely check out Nicky Barot, whatever you want to call him. Like I said, the list will be down below. You can just put it in YouTube, and they're there. If they don't have a video on YouTube, I don't put them on here. That's basically what it means. Or Reverb Nation. I do times where I do my rants on that. The next band is um, Whiskey Dawn. Um, Really, really, really good country band. If you haven't heard of them, check them out. I don't know if they have original songs. I think they do, but I can't be certain because the most of the songs I saw on YouTube were covers. Um, but even if they are covered a band, they are really, really good. They were on tour, I believe, with Cross Canadian Ragweed, so they have to be pretty good to do that. So Whiskey Dawn, check them out. Really, really good. It's like a 5 or 6 piece band. It's really good. All right, so kind of have to get away from the pop crap because I know not everybody that watches this is gonna like pop music and like all that crappy music I just talked about. Which I like that music, but I have to have some metal on the list. The next band is probably the best metal band on the list. Their name is Droid, Droid. Really, really good. If you've never heard of them and you like metal music, go check them out. I first heard of this band on a metal, the magazine Metal Edge sampler. Um, Fucking unbelievable. Um, Check them out. You won't be disappointed at all. Next band is Kamelot. If you've had a metal magazine lately, you've probably seen them. I think they got a new album coming out. It's kind of, I want to call it kind of like opera metal, prog metal, I guess what you want to call it. So that's what you want to expect when you listen to them. Really, really good band though. The next band, I've kind of maybe changed my opinion on this band. I've seen these guys live, and heck, maybe it's just that I was buzzed on alcohol or something when I seen them. But High on Fire is a metal band, and I've seen them with Fu Manchu and Clutch. Um, and no, they're not on this list. I did mention Clutch last time. Fu Manchu will be on the future list, probably next list. Um, um, but I liked them. But now looking back at it, I even bought the CD of them. It's actually on my the items I was trying to sell a while back. Still haven't sold them, by the way. So check out that list; they're still available. Um, but I just kind of changed my perception now that I was looking at it on YouTube just now, and I'm just like, wow, these guys, they're not really what I like. I don't know why I like them in the first place. Um, but I mean, he sits there and he like says them like I don't know. It's like I have trouble liking music that's not in rhythm. Like even like metal bands, like Lamb of God, even like Slipknot, and like hell, even Dimmu Borgir, stuff like that. Metal bands, Kamelot, there's a rhythm to it. You can't just like shout out things. and not even be in rhythm with the bassist. I mean, most bands, they're in rhythm with the bassist. That's what makes the music good. You got some sort of rhythm. Um, and High on Fire just seems like like he's talking, and they go go go, and then he goes says another sentence, and that's basically what the whole music is. So I did put him on the list because the music is amazing, but the singer, I honestly think they should just be an instrumental band because the dude sucks as a singer. He was in a band called Sleep as well, so I guess check them out as well. If you want to, it's basically the same shit. So I'm not gonna put Sleep on a list probably ever because it's not even gonna be worth your time. They have like an hour long song. I don't know. I don't. How you could sit through an hour long song, that just amazes me. But anyway, I would probably walk out probably of the bar or the venue if somebody kept on playing a song like an hour long. I'd probably be done. Be like, no, and walk the hell out with my beer in my hand. And I'd be like, this is bullshit. Give me my damn money back. Fucking ridiculous. Um, so done with that. The next guy is Jason Hunter, another guy from the catalog. Um, I'm having trouble finding people here at the end of the list, and I did put this guy on here. He's really, really poppy, really good voice. Um, so trying to appeal to the masses, if different people watch a show, or if anybody watches the show, they have different of music. There's a lot of different music on the list. So Jason Hunter, basically a pop singer. He probably goes hand in hand with Nicky Barot, which is kind of like a teen singer. He basically probably would be like the Ricky Martin or something like that in this thing. Not necessarily that he's Spanish. He's not Spanish at all. He's a white guy that sings pop music. I guess Michael Bolton, but I don't want to like put him in a term. He's just pop music basically. Jason Hunter, check him out. Next guy, you probably heard of him. If you haven't, I decided to throw some R&B in here, kind of rap. He did kind of rap, I guess. I don't want to call him like a full-on rapper because he does, mainly like he's kind of singing and soulful stuff. But there is hip hop kind of in there. Bobby Valentino, check him out. Really good. Like I said, you probably heard of him, but if you haven't, check it out. Pretty good. So there you have it. I got a couple minutes to spare. Like I said, I listen to all types of music, so you'll hear like me talk about all these different kind of genres and stuff like that. So there you go. There's 14 bands. 14 bands. Um, so check them out. Listen to them. Song of the day probably is going to be surprised. It'll be from one of these bands. Make sure to check it out. Song of the vid. Alright. Later. More videos to come. Rah. BradTragick.weebly.com